The magic of a flowing river, the beauty of the crashing ocean waves, the mystical tingling of the waterfalls, or the power of a still lake. All are different but are magical in their own unique ways. Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Life Upside Down. So, today's episode started up a little different than the previous one because I wanted to start off with a note that tells you that you are unique in your own beautiful way and you don't need to put up with the norms that the society tells you to. So, in today's episode, we are going to talk about uniqueness. Water comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes. It can be a still lake, or the waves of an ocean can even bring a tsunami. It can welcome you with the warmth, or it can kill you with a storm. It's up to the water to decide what it wants to be today. Just like water, humans can come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and it shouldn't be a restricted norm, rather, it should be your own uniqueness. So, on a day to day basis, I feel like we all go through this. We see other people and we feel like that maybe we're not like them, maybe we're different, and a lot of times that's not something that we want to be. Sometimes we want to fit in, blend in with the society, blend in with all the norms that the society has created for us. Sometimes we don't want to completely stand out and be different than the rest of the world. When we're born and till the time we grow up, every single day people are telling us their own ways of how you should be. Everyone is telling you their different meanings of who you are supposed to be, who you should be. And you all the time try and absorb everything that they're telling you. You try and be the person that the society wants you to be. A lot of time we become rebellious as well, but most of the times we try and be a good person, and a good person not by who we think a good person is, but by what the society tells us to be. So today let's talk about your own uniqueness. Let's talk about that how beautiful your uniqueness is and how magical it is that you're you. And it's amazing who you are. And you don't have to fit in. You don't have to be what everybody else thinks you of, imagines you to be. It's okay to not fit in. You have to realize that the society will always try and fit you in their own jars. The society has created certain rules and certain ways they accept people to be, and they will always try to make you fit in those little tiny boxes that they have created from their own minds and over the years and over the decades. And they will always want you to be among those people. But you should also know that you don't necessarily have to follow all those rules. You don't have to follow all the norms that the society has created for you. You can break through. You can be different, and it's amazing how the people who break through are the ones that the other people look up to. See, the thing is that nobody will ever look up to you if you're not unique. Nobody will ever want to get inspired by you if there's nothing different about you. People will only get inspired by you if you have your own uniqueness. If you're different than the rest of them. If you're just like everybody else, why would they look at you? Why would they not look at 50 other people among them? Why you? So, like in my last episode, I was talking about self discovery and we talked about how to discover yourself. But after that, you truly need to accept the fact that you are different, and that is amazing. You truly need to be okay with the fact that the society tells me to fit into A, B, C, D, or Z. But now I'm different and I'm maybe not even into all those alphabets. Maybe I'm a completely unique person. In our previous episode, we talked about this uniqueness. We talked about discovering ourselves so that now we can talk about how to embrace it. We talked about how to truly discover that one thing that makes you you. But now, moving on, we have to truly be our authentic selves. Now we have to accept who we are and be that fearlessly. We need to focus on the good things. We need to move ahead and be fearlessly authentic. We need to embrace who we are. So, for example, if you talk about any person who is your role model, think of that one person who you truly look up to. It could be a celebrity, it could be someone around you, it could be someone from your family, your friends, or maybe your colleague, anyone. Imagine that one person who you truly look up to every single time. There's probably something different about them, right? There's this one or maybe even more unique qualities about them that makes you look up to them. You look up to them because you get inspired from them. You appreciate and it makes you feel amazing how they're living their life and being themselves. You won't look up to them if they start copying somebody else. And even when you look up to them, you don't think of copying them. You get inspired and then do your own stuff. So, if I have this one celebrity that I really adore and I really love their work, and it could be anybody, and I look up to that person every time they do something, and I look up to their work and I get inspired by them, that doesn't mean that I'm going to copy them, right? If I copy them, then I'm again not being myself, and then I'm again not appreciating or embracing my uniqueness. If I copy anybody else, then I'm not me. So, to be myself, I have to appreciate and embrace my own self, embrace my own uniqueness. And why am I using this unique word again and again? Why am I saying it? It is because this is the next step in the journey of self love and self growth. So, I started off with giving an example of the water. And why did I take water as an example and why did I compare water to humans? That is because water is a lot like us, and water comes in n number of forms. It can be frozen, it can be a waterfall, it can be a river, it could be rain, it could be snow, or it could be the water you drink. It could be into different shapes. It a lot of time blends in or fits in, like you pour water into a glass and it takes the shape of the glass. That is called adaptation. That is called the capacity to adapt into the surrounding, and we all humans definitely have that. The other thing is that if you have 1 liter of water, you can never fit it in a half-liter cup or a jar. You will always need a bigger container for it, right? Or an equal container. You can never squeeze water into that tiny little jar that you have. That's the same case with the human. You can never fit in a person who truly is capable of greater things into a tiny little jar. The people who are talented, the people who have capabilities, and the people who are different and unique, and honestly, everyone is unique in their own beautiful way, they will always break through that glass. They will always get out of that tiny little box that the society is trying to fit them in. They will always break through and be their own authentic self. It sometimes takes a lot of time to do that. It sometimes takes years and even to know who you truly are. But once you know it, once you accept it, once you start embracing who you are, there's no stopping you, there's no going back. Once you start appreciating your uniqueness, you will do wonders. You will achieve everything that you truly desire, and you will always feel content and happy within yourself. So, like I said about water, it's up to water that what it wants to be. It could be a still lake, it could be ocean waves that people sit across and look at the sun setting into the ocean, or it could be a tsunami, it could be a storm. It's up to the water to choose who it wants to be today. Just like that, it's up to you who you want to be today. It's up to you what do you want to embrace about yourself today. In our own ways, we all are different and unique. I like to believe that we all are different and that's magical. I like to believe that whoever made us or wherever we come from decided or thought of that we all should be different, and that is why who we are is not exactly the same as who someone else is. Like, all my friends are different, not everybody is the same. If I have two friends, they will not be the exact carbon copy of each other. And we're not just friends because of the similarities that we have. We do have things in common, and that's what makes us bond over. But that's not the only thing that makes us friends, because we all will always be different. So rather than fighting it, we should all start accepting that yes, we're different, but we're going to take it and we're going to truly accept the fact that this is who we are, and we're going to embrace this completely. Because once you start doing that, once you start accepting the fact that everyone else is different, I am different, you start moving forward in your life. And when I talk about uniqueness, I'm not just saying that you're unique. You also need to accept the fact that the other person is also unique. You have to start accepting the fact that you are you and you have your own perspective, but the other person will also have their own perspective. The other person is also unique. You will have to accept the fact that maybe this is something that you like, but the other person is different. Maybe they don't like it, maybe they like something else. And I feel like if you want to truly accept others, first you need to accept yourself. First, you need to embrace yourself. You need to be in sync with your own self. Only then you can accept how other people react. I've never seen anybody content in their life saying bad things about other people. People who discourage or demotivate others or look down upon some people are the very people who are not happy with their lives, are the very people who are facing issues in their life and are unhappy. So, if you're truly content, if you're truly happy with your life, you will never look down upon someone. And to truly be happy, you have to accept yourself. So, we now have understood the fact that the only way to move forward is accepting the fact that you're different and you're not here to blend into the society. If you were supposed to blend in, we all would look the same. We would all be thinking the exact same things, doing the exact same things, but we're not doing that, right? We're all in different professions, we're all living different lives. Some people are traveling, some people are reading books, some people are writing books, some people act, other people don't. Some people are doctors, and there are thousands and thousands of things and professions and lives that people are living. And to be honest, 1,000 is a really small number. There are millions and billions of people living their life in their own unique ways. And now that we have established that we're all different and we're not exactly the same, we also have to start accepting others, whatever they are, whoever they are. And a lot of times we choose not to be their friends, and that's okay, because you cannot be friends with everybody, right? You have your own group, you have your own people, right? You cannot be friends with everybody. You obviously will have certain people that you blend with, certain people who you are easygoing with, and certain people who take out the best of you. Right, so those will be your people, but that doesn't mean that somebody who's not living the life that you think is supposed to be is living it wrongly. So, if you like doing something, the other person doesn't necessarily have to like it. The other person really doesn't have to live life like that. I do understand certain morals and ethics, and what's wrong is wrong. Yes, that is true. And growing up is the only way. Evolution is the best way of living life. And that is absolutely correct. But that also means that you have to be grown up enough to realize that yes, maybe they're doing something that I might not do, but that's okay, because you're not doing that, right? They're doing it for themselves, and that's making them happy. And you need to embrace it, you need to accept it, you need to move forward with your life. You need to be okay with the fact that they're doing something which I might not do, and that's completely okay. And moving forward, I also need to talk about that how you need to be okay with other people not accepting who you are. So, you accepting yourself is the first step. You accepting others, whoever they are, however they are, is the second step. And the third step is to be okay with the fact that not everybody is going to accept you, because not everybody is on the same page, not everybody is on the same self love journey, not everybody is on the same level of growth or evolution, not everybody is on the same spiritual journey. So, not everybody has evolved as you are. Maybe they have a long way to reach here, and maybe they have not yet realized that everybody is different, and it's okay because they're going to take their own sweet time to come there, and that's completely okay. You have to understand that if somebody is looking down at you, it's not your fault. You have to be okay with the fact that okay, that person doesn't like the way I'm living my life, but that shouldn't bother you, because you don't need any validation from others. You don't need other people telling you that you're amazing. You're amazing, you're unique, and you know that. And that's the only thing that you want. That's the only validation you require. You don't need anybody else telling you that yes, you're validated, yes, you go girl or you go boy, you are doing amazing in your life and you're doing the best in your life. You don't need anybody telling you that, because there's no point in that. If you know and if you accept who you are, if you start embracing it, and if you start accepting others, it's okay if others are not on the same page. I feel the more you think about that how other people are not accepting who you are, the more frustrated you will be, the more irritating it will be, and the more sad you will become in your life. So to be content, to be happy, you have to let go of all these validations. You have to let go of all these emotions that make you feel that you need the society to accept you as you are. It's okay. You're not here to blend in. Everyone is different. That it's okay. And it genuinely makes me feel amazing if you're on the same page with me here. And I feel like a lot of times people take it for granted. A lot of time people will tell you that whatever you're doing is wrong. A lot of time people will give you their ideas of how life is supposed to be. And they might not accept you as your true authentic self. And that is not your need or necessity. So let's move on and talk about not just mental or emotional uniqueness, but also how we all are different physically. So I have seen a lot of people who are more accepting to the fact that we all are different mentally, or we all have different thoughts and perspective, but a lot of times there's still a long way to go towards the acceptance of the fact that this is how you look. And when I talk about looks, I mean, who decided that this is how you're supposed to look? This is what is right, this is what's presentable. And honestly, if you're a particular color, or if your eyes look a particular way, if your hair is of a particular shade, if your body is of a particular shape or size, that's not really up to you. A lot of times you cannot change that. You shouldn't change that. You can be your true authentic self, and people need to start being more accepting towards the fact that everyone is different. The color, shape, size, the voice that you have, the eyes, your looks, and all of these things are not a definition of who you are. Those are just appearances, and as we say, appearances are not the only things that matter. You have to look deeper inside a person, and I am not even saying that a person might look ugly but still be a beautiful person inside. I'm sorry, who defines ugly? No one is ugly in this whole world. Whoever we are is beautiful, and when you look at yourself every day in the mirror, you need to tell yourself that you're beautiful, whoever you are, however you are, whatever color you're in, whatever size, height, and all of these things are just shade cards, numbers, and whatever it is, you're still beautiful the way you are. And we need to all start accepting our physical forms as well as our mental forms. And we a lot of times talk about racism, we a lot of time talk about body shaming, but nobody really stops doing that. A lot of times we're just saying it out loud, and we're not even thinking of the consequences that the other person is going through, because you're not accepting enough. And I'm just telling you to stop waiting for other people to accept your body type. You have to start embracing it yourself. You have to be your own superhero. You have to be okay with the fact that this is how I look, and that's okay because I look beautiful the way I am. And you have to be as accepting towards your physical self as you are to your mental and emotional self. Talking about mental and emotional self, we need to start accepting the fact that everybody is thinking different things and everybody likes different things. Be more accepting towards the fact that other people are living the life they want to, and it's okay if that is not in sync with the life that you want to live. You can have different approaches towards life, and that's completely okay. And this is applicable on your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, everywhere. Uniqueness prevails. I feel like we've talked about a lot of different things, but the main thing is we need to move forward and we all need to grow up. We all need to stop looking down on each other and ourselves the most. I feel the most we judge is ourselves, the most we punish is ourselves. Every day we look at ourselves, every day we have to be with ourselves. And if we're not looking at us as an inspiration, if we're not looking at ourselves, telling these things to ourselves, we're just looking down at ourselves as well. So start being content with yourself, start being happy with the way you are, start accepting and embracing the fact that you are unique, you're different, and it's magical. You have to be your own inspiration. You have to be your own role model. You have to accept yourself, be content with yourself, and then accept how other people are living. And that's when you start truly being content in your life, happy in your life. If you start looking for validation within yourself, your work here is done. You don't need anybody else. You're your own support system. From someone who loves water, I must say that I love water in all forms. And by all forms I don't mean tsunami or disastrous water forms, but I mean all the beautiful creations that water have given us, all the waterfalls, all the amazing oceans, and all the beauty that it has to give us. And that's the same thing with us. Water in all forms is beautiful. When you look at an ocean, you feel magical. And when you look at a waterfall, you feel magical again. And there's no comparison in the two feelings. They're different, they're beautiful. And it's not even right to think about what is better because they're both beautiful, they're both unique, they're both different, and in their own ways, they're magical. So that's the same with us. We are all different. We're all beautiful. We're all amazing and unique. And that's our superpower. That's our beauty. And once we all start embracing it, that's when we start truly living our life. And that's another step towards self love and self growth. And that's all for today's episode. That's all I wanted to talk about. And previous episode we talked so much about self-discovery. We talked about how to find yourself. And the second step in the journey of self-growth and self-love is to accept what you found, to embrace it and to move on and to move forward and to look up to yourself, to love yourself and embrace yourself. So that's it for today's episode, and I'll see you in another episode of Life Upside Down.